Number 1 is Earth Summit, Carl Llewellyn. 2, Spiky, Norman Williamson. 3, Clyde Ranger, Chris Grant. Number 4 is Granville Guest, Graham Bradley. Number 5, Knave of Clubs, Mark Dwyer. 6, Lusty Light, Ian Lawrence. 7, Mailcom, Jamie Osborne. 8 is Mudahim, Warren Marston. And 9, One Man, Neale Doughty. All 9 to go in this Reynoldstown Novices chase, won last year by Capability Brown. And we've got joint favourites here in the event this year.
Yes, Mudahim and One Man, a dark black horse Mudahim, and One Man, a grey horse, both at 2 to 1 there, joint fads. Lovely, exciting prospects. Mailcom, another dark bay, he's on 9 to 2. He's hardened half a point, one of Jenny Pittman's 2 runners in this. Clyde Ranger has drifted from 10s to 12s. He's got some good form. Earth Summit, well on the drift from 10s out to 14s. Granville Guest, the same price. Spiky, now there's an each-way chance, and quite nicely priced, I think, at 25 to 1. The same price, Knave of Clubs, and also Lusty Light.
Yes, coming in now. Starter holding them. One Man second from the right, the grey. Mailcom is out the back, and you can just see him coming up now, about 4th from the right in the red and white colours.
Come on, will you?
That's Knave of Clubs around the wrong way.
No, sir. Let me walk in.
And one of the riders asking to allow his mount to walk in, which could be Ian Lawrence on Lusty Light.
Come on.
And that's it. Away they go. And Spiky going off in the lead with Mailcom and Clyde Ranger just behind them. Mudahim is also very handy as they come to the first of 20. And all over safely. One Man jumping in at about 5th position as they head down now towards the second plain fence. And Mailcom the leader by 3 lengths to Mudahim on the near side with the red sleeves. They jump it well, the leaders. Then Spiky out wide from Clyde Ranger. A gap then to Lusty Light, and One Man is on the outside of the field as they travel now down towards the first of 4 ditches. And the leader here is Mailcom by 3 lengths to Mudahim, a half length on the outside, Clyde Ranger. Leader jumped it well. Getting into that one, Granville Guest back in the field, didn't handle it at all well. Still on his feet okay, though, but he went right through the top of it. And Mailcom is the leader on settling down a couple of lengths to Mudahim, and then on the right of picture there with a red cap, Clyde Ranger as they stream over the water. Then Spiky behind them from One Man, then Lusty Light a length and a half or so as they race into Swindley Bottom as Knave of Clubs, and towards the rear Granville Guest in company there with Earth Summit, and they're nicely strung out now. About 10 lengths covers the field, and Mailcom taking them along at a good pace. Mailcom as they head now towards fence number 5. This is another plain one coming up here. Leads by a couple of lengths to Clyde Ranger just on the right with a white face. In behind them is Mudahim, followed by Spiky and One Man, Lusty Light. A couple of lengths away then is Knave of Clubs back in the field in company with Earth Summit, and Granville Guest on the left. Heading over the 6th, and Mailcom misjudged that one. He got a fraction close but got away with it. Leads by a couple of lengths to Mudahim on the left of picture as they come to the second ditch now. In the centre is Clyde Ranger. The leader cleared that one better. All mistake back in the field by Knave of Clubs. Went right down on his nose there. And as they head now towards fence number 8, Mailcom is the leader from Clyde Ranger, held up in the centre and went right through that Clyde Ranger, barely lifted off. He barely took his legs off the ground there, but got away with it. Mudahim goes into a clear second from Clyde Ranger as they're on the turn the first time. In behind them is, at this stage, One Man from Spiky. They're a couple of lengths in advance of Lusty Light back in the field. Then is Granville Guest in company with Knave of Clubs, who's dropped back to second last after that mistake, and Earth Summit last of all at the 9th. And a mistake by Clyde Ranger. How he's still on. No, he's got to go. He tried valiantly to get back into the saddle there, Chris Grant, but Clyde Ranger has deposited him on the turf, and he got a kick in the back as he went down as well. As they come to the 10th, Mailcom gets over it from Mudahim, who made a mistake there. Wasn't too disastrous, though. Spiky jumping up on his outside, and One Man has now come up into the leading group. In fact, lying 3rd on the outside. A couple of lengths away, then Lusty Light, then Granville Guest being passed now on the outside by Knave of Clubs and Earth Summit. And the riderless Clyde Ranger galloping on after the field, 100 yards or so. and Chris Grant still on the floor and being attended to by the ambulance men, and they're calling now for the ambulance as they race now over the side of the course, almost back where they started. Mailcom is the leader by a length and a half to Him. On the outside, the grey, as they head towards fence number 11, is one man. He's going pretty well at this stage. He comes to the 11th now. Mailcom leads over it. One man just overpitched a little bit there on the outside of Him, who jumped it okay. They're about 4 or 5 lengths to Spiky Lusty Light, a gap then to Knave of Clubs, followed by Granville Guest and Earth Summit as they go over the 12th. And one man has jumped into the lead. The grey one man has gone into the lead now by a length to Him on the near side. Mailcom has now dropped back to third as they head now towards the third ditch. And the leader is to it. One man by a length and a half to Him on the near side. Then Mailcom, a gap to Spiky and Lusty Light. Then a long gap to Knave of Clubs as they run down towards the water. And right out the back, Granville Guest, who's being passed by Earth Summit. Heading now towards the water. One man in command. Leads over it by 2 lengths to Him on the near side. And then follows Mailcom. 2 lengths away then in fifth position. At this stage, Lusty Light, but being passed by Spiky on the inside as they race to Spindley Bottom the second time. One man, though, is the leader by a length to Him and a half to Mailcom the outside. A length further back in the field is Spiky, followed next in the field at this stage as they race out of Swindley Bottom by Lusty Light, and they've drawn right away from Knave of Clubs as they head up the side. But the leader 6 out is one man, led over that by a couple of lengths to Him in the centre. On the right of picture is Mailcom, followed next in the field by Spiky and Lusty Light as they head towards 5 out. One man took off and landed a length in front there of Mailcom on the right. In the centre is Him, followed by Spiky, a long gap to Lusty Light, and just coming to this one now is Knave of Clubs, in fact being pulled up. Mailcom went right through the top of that. Granville Guest is pulled up back in the field, but one man is going well. He's 3 or 4 lengths in front. It's one man by 3 lengths here. Jumped it well, impeccably from Him. Then on the right is Mailcom, further back is Spiky, a long gap then to Lusty Light. They're on the turn for home now in the Reynoldstown chase, and the leader is one man by 2 lengths to Him, who's hard at work. 2 away then is Mailcom the outside, followed by Spiky, a long gap then to Lusty Light, and they're the only ones continuing. They head up now towards the second last, and the leader is one man by 4 lengths. He took off. Him's got a heavy fall there. Spiky ran around him, dodged the fallen horse, but the rider on the floor there, Warren Marston, but it's one man who's 5 lengths clear of Mailcom now as they head up towards the last fence. Further back then is Lusty, is Spiky, but coming to the last now, one man takes off. He lands over at 6 in front of Mailcom. Further back then is Spiky clearing at third. Lusty Light is continuing on, but one man about 5 lengths in front and being pushed out only hands and heels in the run to the line. An effortless winner of the Reynoldstown. In second placing is Mailcom. A long gap then of 12 lengths to Spiky, and continuing on. The only other one to complete the course is Lusty Light. The winner there, number 9, one man, owned by Mr. J. Hales and Miss L. Hales, trained at Greystoke by Gordon Richards and ridden by Neale Doughty, the 2-to-1 favourite. Second, number 7, Mailcom, in the colours of Mailcom PLC, trained by Jenny Pittman and ridden by Jamie Osborne. And third, number 2, Spiky, in the colours of Mr. Stanley Powell, trained by John Jenkins and ridden by Norman Williamson. And fourth, the only other to complete the course, number 6, Lusty Light. Him I did see galloping merrily up the course. He appeared to be okay. But there's the winner, one man, the 2-to-1 winner of the Reynoldstown Novices Chip.
One man, the winner, the 2-to-1 favourite. Second, Mailcom at 9-2. Third, Spiky at 33.